Hello, welcome. So today I wanted to do a quick video. I won't take too long. I want to just share what we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks together as the workshops start tomorrow. So we've got the Make Art Your Living workshops that I run every year starting tomorrow. So if you haven't signed up yet, the link is above. I am so excited to get going because I only run this workshop once a year. And I want to go through today what we're going to be doing so you know what to expect and how you can prepare for the event. So it's good to see you, Jill, tuning in from Shropshire. I'm literally in Shropshire myself. Hello. Kim is tuning in from Down Under. Hello. Rania, hello from Saudi and France. Nice to have you here. So who's new here? We might have some people that have never taken part in this workshop before. And we do have people who have taken this workshop time and time and time again, because I have been doing this for 7 years now. So my background, really quickly, is in the creative industries, has been for the last 20 years. So I've worked in design teams, I've run exhibition spaces, I've held studio spaces for artists, I've been a student of art for many years, created my own art for 7 years, and then set up United Art Space 7 years ago. Every year when I say I've been running United Art Space, it's getting closer to 10 years. I'm like, oh, how did that happen? And so 7 years, and there are people here that have been following for 7 years. Thank you. So yeah, 7 years now I've been doing live sessions. So every week, near enough, for the last 7 years, I've done a live session of some sort on social media, or to our members. So that's how long it's been going on. And over the years, this 7 key framework that I'm going to share with you, we have run this over and over and over again with tens and tens of thousands of people now from around the world who have taken part in this framework. So I love it because I revisit this framework myself. It's how I have created my courses. I apply it to my own artwork. I've applied it to the book that I'm writing. This framework can be used for anything, but when we go towards the workshops in the next 2 weeks, it's really focusing on art and visual art. That's what I've written it for. So that's who I work with: visual artists, 2D, 3D, people who make digital glass, craft, fine art, drawing, painting. That's what we are going to talk through in the next couple of weeks. But you can apply it to workshops. If you are running art workshops, you can apply this framework to that, because the principles, it's a business plan basically. So they can be applied to anything. And we are going to go through this framework together. And I'm excited to do this with you, as I'm now navigating a new area myself. So I'm going to be running this through the 7 keys this year with you all. And so the way it's delivered is 4 main videos. So there's going to be a lot of me going live and me doing Q&A sessions and talking, but there are 4 main videos. So if you are pushed for time, just watch the workshop videos, because that's where I do a condensed rundown of what the 7 keys are and the actions that you need to take. And so if you're pushed for time, just do those 4 videos. That's it. If you have got more time, there will be some pop-up Q&As in between over the next 2 weeks. There'll be some talks. I like to bring artists in who we've worked with, and there'll be other things going on. But the 4 main workshops are what going to teach you. That doesn't still sound right. Is what will teach you this framework. And so the 4 main videos will be just under an hour long. I try and keep them to 45 minutes. And then you'll get actions in each of those videos. They will be live, so I host them live. The first one goes live tomorrow, the 7th of September, 11 a.m. UK time. If you want to get those dates in your diary, if you go to the event page, which we have sent you in an email, we sent an email yesterday. So for those who have signed up, please go and check your email, because we have sent you links, and we've sent you a link to go and put the date in your diary, and a link where you can go to the event page to do that. So that will put all the dates and times in your diary, and you can change the time zone as well. So check your emails, please, as well, because if you've signed up, sometimes the emails go into junk. So go and check the junk folder, because our emails often contain lots of images and lots of links. So you'll want to go and check the junk folder just in case it's gone there. And this does lead into a bigger program. And so I'm going to be upfront that yes, we have a course at the end of this. The 2 weeks is completely free. The workshops are free. The upgrade option is optional. You can upgrade to access worksheets, and you can decide during the 2 weeks if you want to upgrade your experience and access the worksheets that go along, that go in more depth. But the whole of the videos are available for the next 2 weeks and are free. And I will be showing up, and I'll be doing as much as I can to help you understand this framework. And there'll be lots of people taking part in this with you as well. So I do encourage you to get to know other people taking part. If you are on Facebook, there is a pop-up Facebook group which is just open for the duration of the event. So you can go and hang out with people, like go and meet other people, because you've all got something in common here, which is that you want to make art and you want to get it out into the world. And so that's what's bringing us all together in this moment, which I find incredible and fascinating. And so at the end of the event, there is a course. It's the full 7 Keys course. It's an 8-week live program. And I will talk about that at the end. And if anybody wants to continue the journey on with us and take part in that course, I'll tell you all about it at the end. But for now, I just want you to focus on the next 2 weeks. And the purpose of this next 2-week period together is for you to just kind of reset, pause, take a step back, and really connect with what it is that you want to create, the art that you make, and really, really take a moment to pause and connect with it, and really figure out how to speak about it, how to feel confident about it, where you can put that artwork, who's going to be interested in it. And we're going to give you key steps to help you figure this information out. Now, because we've only got 2 weeks together, and I really want you to understand the framework, what we ask of you is to choose one artwork to help you go deep on the questions that we ask. Now, this is the part, and this is why I like to do this prep, to give you a bit of time to think about this, because this is the part that can make people panic, because they're like, I can't choose one artwork. How can I choose one artwork? So what I want you to do is get all of your work out if you've got lots of work. And by the way, if you haven't, it doesn't matter. We've had loads of people take part in this workshop before that haven't even had artwork. They've just turned up because they've just saw the ad and thought, oh, this sounds interesting. Nina Kauser was one of those people. She didn't have an artwork and she made one for the event and then started selling 12 months after, had international shows and started selling, had a website. So you don't need to have an artwork per se, but if you do have lots of artworks, it's a really good time now to just get those artworks out in front of you and start to really question, what do you want to do going forwards? And what do you want to make more of? Where does your passion lie in what you've created so far? These are the questions I want you to start asking yourself now, looking at your work and really thinking about you, not what other people will buy, not if I do this, what will people think? I really want you to stop for a moment and think about yourself. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to say with your artwork? What is it that you want to explore more of? What is it that you want? Because quite often when people approach these workshops, they're clouded by other people's opinions and what they think they should be doing and comparison. And it's important for you to be connected with what you want. And if you don't feel connected with what you want, don't panic, because again, this is what we're going to be looking at over the next 2 weeks. For some people, they come to these workshops wanting to know how to sell, and they quickly realize that, oh my gosh, I'm not going down the right path. This is the path I want to go down. So you might come to these workshops with a preconceived idea of what you want, and it might just turn things around unexpectedly for you in a different direction. So I want you to be really open as well. And I will talk more about this tomorrow in the workshop, because it is important to approach this with an open mind, being ready to just take the steps and see what happens. And it's so exciting when I've been reading back through the success from last year and all the comments and the different ways that this workshop has helped people. Is just mind-blowing, the way it's helped some people grow confidence in what they're doing. And this is major. It sounds like blah, but it isn't, because we've seen people have more success once they feel confident about what they're saying and how to articulate what they do and how to just actually put the work out into the world. And that confidence is sometimes what's been holding them back. And by just putting it out there, they've seen a result straight away, or they just have this different way now of going out into the world with their art and approaching it. And so this is what I love about running these workshops, is that all of you are going to have such a completely different experience, and it's all valid. It's all, whether it feels small to you or big to you, it's something's going to happen in the next 2 weeks if you show up and do the work. So, and like I say, you can use this framework for anything. In fact, one of my friends is a mechanic, and he uses this in his business. He's used this framework. But like I say, we're going to be focusing on art. So when you're choosing that one artwork, here's a few ways that you can really think about this. You can just intuitively just go with one, just choose one, just think, I'm just going to focus on this one that you want to dig under the surface of, learn more about, really connect with it, and really think about, this is one that I'd like to get out in the world, and maybe I'd like to sell, or I want to show it, or I want people to see it, engage with it. You can approach it that way. You can approach it from a point of view of just pin the tail on donkey, close your eyes, and just pick one. But I would, I really think that it's just about taking time to connect, to really think about one that you'd like to make more of, one that you really, doesn't necessarily have to be one that you were really happy with in terms of making, but one that you think, I'd like to do more of this. Because we're going to take that one artwork on a journey. And the reason that this is helpful is that you can actually take a step back from everything that you're doing, which is really overwhelming when you're trying to figure out, if you've got lots of different courses and lots of different artwork and you've got this going on and that going on, it's too difficult to look at a framework like this against everything that's going on in your life. So what we're doing is we're just filtering everything out and bringing it right back into the simplest steps. Because when you bring it back to simplicity, this is where you start to see that this is all actually very simple. The answers are staring you in the face. And when you strip it right back and keep things really simple, the answers present themselves. You start to get clarity. You start to go, I see now where this is going. I see that I can do this. So this is where the first steps are taken. And then once you learn these steps, you can then apply it to the other things that you're doing. So I don't want you to choose this one artwork and think that, I'm choosing this artwork and I can't make anything else, because you can. It's choosing one artwork for the workshops just so that you can learn the framework and go forwards and learn more about yourself. And don't worry if it's the wrong artwork. If you get halfway through, you can swap, you can change it. So how do people feel about choosing that one artwork? Let me know in the chat. Let's have a little conversation about that now, if anyone's feeling apprehensive about it. And I'm going to go to the chat now. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything that I was supposed to say about preparing for this. No, I think I've got everything covered. And it's going to be fun. We're going to make this fun as well. Oh, it's lovely to see you all. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's so good. Amanda says, oh my gosh, Amanda's a hub member, but never taken part in this workshop before. Amazing. So you'll see people saying I'm a hub member. So we have a membership as well. People are part of a membership of United Art Space and access resources and a part of an amazing community of hubsters. So you might see people saying that I'm a hub member, I'm a hubster. So that's what that is. And it's lovely to have you, Amanda. So I can't wait to see where this takes you. Amanda, do you have an idea of the one artwork that you would like to take through the workshops? And if you are thinking out the box and doing this as a maybe for a workshop you're doing, so it's just simplifying that. So what is the workshop? It's one workshop that you'll take through this process. It's just stripping it back to one thing at the moment so we can go really deep on these keys. Oh my gosh, Kim, it's my third workshop. I love them. Good to have you back, Kim. Juliet's here. Rachel, hello. Tracy's new. Hi, Tracy. You're in Cumbria. We're just looking at going away for Christmas in Cumbria. I'm so excited away with my family, which we haven't done in years. So, oh, Jill's new. If you're in Shropshire, you'll know how hard it is to find buyers. I love it. Angela, hello. It's good to see you here. Okay. Katie's tuning in. Chris is tuning in from Barcelona. Lovely. Simone, hello. Simone's with us. So Simone is tuning in from Virginia and is about to have her first big retrospective exhibition. And it all started with these workshops years ago. And Simone has been in our community ever since. So, in fact, I'll be talking about that tomorrow. Lisa says, not new. This is my third or fourth time. Oh, yeah. Ryan says, hub member here. These courses work today. I'm here for the banter. Yeah, we do have a bit of banter in the chat going on as well. Let me just see. Oh, lots of people here for the first time. It's so nice to have you here because I know I was just talking to a friend about this before I came on about how social media has changed in the 7 years that I've been doing this. So when I first started out 7 years ago, I was literally one of the first to go live on Facebook. And when I say one of the first, there'd have been thousands of us, but it was one of the first because I had a page and I was one of the first to get the Facebook Live feature. And I'd already been going live on an app called Periscope. That's how you used to go live before Facebook had a live feature. And so I was just thinking back today about how it's changed so much in the last 7 years and how there weren't that many people doing what I was doing 7 years ago. And now how much content there is on social media and how many people are helping people and how many scammers there are. Now, I don't see it because I don't actually use social media on a personal level anymore. But I see it more and more now how people are so scared. And it's really sad to see the amount of people who are out there scamming people and trying to lure them in with, we can help you make this money. And I'm not that kind of person. I love sharing information, helping artists. I've been doing it for 7 years. I've worked with thousands of artists. That isn't a lie, I promise you. It's the truth. You can scroll back on my Facebook page and you'll see the 7 years worth of content and the reviews. So, but I share this because I know how daunting it is now when you sign up to these things, because there's so many people as well. I think when the pandemic hit, so many people started to pop up and help people, which I think is great. I love it when people help. And there's so many people now doing what I do and saying what I say. And so it can be really overwhelming and knowing who to trust and knowing what's legitimate. So I just want to share that it's 100% legitimate. I care. I really do. I'm upfront, and yes, we have a membership, and yes, we have a course at the end, but I'm not going to force you to take that course. You can unsubscribe, you can leave at the end of the workshops. I'm going to give you everything I've got in the next 2 weeks. People who've taken this before will tell you I carve out 2 weeks in my diary, I rest before, and I go all in to just because I kind of get a buzz from this experience. I love the whole thing. I love that we've got thousands of people asking questions, helping each other, going through this framework, having aha moments, maybe some struggles, and we've got to help you. And we just do as much as we can to get you through the 2 weeks and for you to have the transformation that's waiting for you. So yeah, it's 100% legitimate, I promise you. So hello, Helen is tuning in from Australia. So good to see you here. There's some familiar names. I can see Colin here, Ryan, Nick, just signed up this morning. Greetings from Essex. So good to see you here. Oh, here we go. Jay, I've been following for 7 years, and I did the 7 keys and joined the hub 3 years ago. And I just saw you post. I think it was this morning, actually, Jay. I just saw your post. Was it your exhibition? Okay, let me just see. Yeah, Julie's come back for a second year. Yay. Laura says, I've done this course last year and the year before, and every time I learn something new about my art. I'm a ceramics artist, and I love the path of turning my hobby into an increasingly more successful business. Yes, Laura didn't have a business when she started this. She had a dream to set up her own pottery studio and start selling, and she's been on TV, and she's selling her art, and she has shows, and she has workshops. It's incredible. I was talking about the meaning of making art a living on Monday, and Laura embodies that. She's just, and I know for a lot of people who may be joining us for the first time, that can actually sound really intimidating. Like, she's been on TV and she's been in magazines and she's doing all of this, and you might be sitting there thinking, I don't want that. It can be really scary. For some people it's exciting. You're like, yeah, I want to go all in, and I want to have shows, and I want to do the big stuff. And for some people it's taking the small steps, and you can do this at your own pace. And what I find is, we've had lots of people, introverts, we've had people who are terrified, who can't even share their profile picture because they're too scared. And to watch them transform over a longer period of time to becoming more confident, accepting who they are, sharing that first artwork, getting that first sale, and the feeling that comes with that. It's amazing. This is why I love doing this, because for me, I've seen these transformations over the years, and it just brings me so much joy to see that in people. One person, especially Sylvan, who said that she felt she'd been locked in her own cave for her whole life, and she joined us in her 70s, and it was amazing to just see her slowly unravel herself, and the fear and the barriers that she'd got holding up. And it was art. This is why I love this, because for some people here, you're going to make a full-time living. Some people, it's possible. And for some people, it's not about that. It's about the art taking you on that journey and unlocking parts of yourself, because that is the power that art has. It's so amazing. We learn so much from the art we make. And the art, I believe, guides us. It teaches us more about ourselves, the world we live in. Every time we make something or we pick a picture up, there's a reason, and it's teaching us about ourselves. And I love that part of being an artist. And for some, that is what it unlocks. And it's taken some people on the most incredible journey of that. And I remember someone saying, it's not for me about making a living, like full-time money coming in. It's about me doing this on my own terms, selling a few pieces here, taking a TikTok course when I never ever thought I'd do a video. It's just everything, isn't it? Whatever your journey. And then on the flip side, we do have people making a full-time living, and Simone and Laura and Linda Sheldon, who joined us, and she'd never made art before, and she's a glass artist, and she's still now making a living. She started making art when she was in the pandemic, and she just felt lost, like most of us, and went and did a glass course. And she said, I really like glass. Oh, let's just go now and see where I can take this. And now she makes a full-time living. So yeah. Simone's here for what, I don't know how many times you've done this now, Simone, but I'm ready to reconnect with my art and myself. So you'll see people taking this time and time again, because this is not a static checklist of things that we just learn about ourselves and then it ends there. We are constantly evolving as people. These keys that I'll introduce you to are evolving and changing, because you evolve and change, you grow. So they're evolving, but you also go deeper every time. Like this framework, when you first get introduced to it, might give you some aha moments, and then when you go in again and you do it again, you'll learn more about yourself, more about your people and who they are. And it's like, I always, you'll see people saying bingo as well, because I do say some of the same things. Like, it's like peeling layers off an onion, and I'll talk about onions a lot. And so it's like we are peeling some of you that are here for the first time, you're going to peel the first layer of the onion in terms of this framework, and you're going to go deeper into the onion. This is why I love doing this event as well, because we have all these funny phrases and things as well. And we'll be talking about pineapples a lot, and I'll unveil the pineapple stories tomorrow in the first workshop. And I must go and buy a pineapple today, actually. So yeah. And you're going to find your own version of a pineapple. I'll explain all tomorrow. Steph's asking, how long is this free stuff available? I'm in Australia, so timing's not great. So they are all available on a replay. So I go live because I prefer to do it live. I'll do it live tomorrow at 11 a.m, same time as this one. And then it's available on a replay for 2 weeks. I cannot remember the exact date. I don't have it written down. But it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. The exact date is on the event page of when it comes down, and I'll find that out ready for tomorrow so that you know exactly when it all comes down. And it's a hard deadline. The deadline it comes down, we have it all set up. It can't be extended. We get asked that every year. It's available for 2 weeks. So try and keep up with it as much as you can so that you can get as much out of the event as you can, and you can ask us questions along the way. Don't leave it all to the last minute is what I would advise. But Steph, yes, you've got them on a replay. Isabel says, I did the 7 key workshop 2 years ago, and I've been hooked to your videos ever since. I love your best year yet workshop podcast. I will share my progress with you at some point. I'd love you to share, Isabel, your progress. I would be all ears. And our best year yet workshop is another one that I do. So I do quite a few free workshops every year. I do this one once a year, Make Out Your Living. I do best year yet once a year. And then I do other ones throughout the year as well. Katrina says it's my second time, at least this one. Michelle has so much solid common sense to share, and she does very authentically, both here and the hub. Oh, thank you. You're also lovely. Yeah, Alexa says this is such a lovely approach too, as often we're thinking of selling something, so have to have permission to play and enjoy what you're doing is so cool. Yes, because to me, and this is just my way of doing things. There's so many ways of being an artist and selling it. And so you'll hear different ways, and I think they're all valid. And I think what it comes down to is you've got to soak it all up and what resonates with you, because there is no one path an artist can take. And this is what's dangerous sometimes when I see other artists teaching how to sell. Is that they teach their way, which is wonderful because it's going to help a certain amount of people, but it won't help everyone because there's no one way. And so they can teach how it worked for them, but it might not work for you. And so this framework, it's foundational. It applies to everyone. And that's why you will get results from it. You'll get something from it in these next 2 weeks. And the most important part, I believe, is your passion, your why. It's non-negotiable, and that's what I'll be talking about throughout the workshop. So bringing you back to that and pressing that reset button especially, and I'll talk about this tomorrow, but I want you to do it now. It's coming from this with a fresh, open mind, because I believe that in the world that we're in right now, it's so opinionated and it's so driven by messaging, and so you can sometimes just come to this with preconceived ideas in your mind about what you're capable of or what you should be doing. And so it's really good to come at this with a clean slate of just like it. even like looking at this thinking, if you're an artist selling right now, maybe clear the slate and pretend I'm not an artist selling right now. If I could start all of this again, if I could rewrite my story today, where would I start? What does it look like? That's what I'm going to be doing throughout the workshops. And it doesn't mean that you're just going to write everything off, but it's really good to sometimes just come at this and think, and I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing the course as well. And I'm going to be thinking, if I could just start United Art Space all over again, or just not even United Art Space, if I can start again, what does it look like? And it's powerful because you really start to get clear with yourself, honest with yourself. That was the word I was looking for, honest with yourself. Instead of doing things because other people expect it of you, or you've started to expect it of yourself because of other people, or you've got stuck in a rut without even realizing it. That's another big one. Sometimes we're just on autopilot, and we sometimes just wake up and we go, why am I doing this? For some of you, it's not. This is how it's exciting, because you're all on your own journey. And so I love this event because I can't wait to hear from you all and see and listen to what it is where are you right now and how are you going to approach this? We're going to share the tasks, and then it's up to you to apply it to your own art, to your own life, and bring it back to us and share with us what you're getting from it. And so, yeah, it's good. It's good. Victoria says, I'll start off with a coffee and tea in the naughty corner. So you might hear about the naughty corner. We've got a lovely group here, lovely fun community. And if you're late to a live session, there's this virtual naughty corner that people go to. We all sound absolutely crackers, don't we? Because we are. So Jill says, will the videos stay on YouTube? No, everything comes down. So everything gets deleted and removed. And that's because everything's time sensitive and we don't want any questions on these videos after we've done them. So we remove everything after the 2 weeks. If you want continued access, though, you can upgrade. It's £12. It's a bargain. £12 will give you 12 months access. It delivers the whole thing as a course. So if you've upgraded, you will get 12 months access to all of the workshops, to all of the Q&A sessions, all of the bonus videos that I do throughout the event will be part of the upgrade site. So if you're not upgrading, you need to do it in the 2 weeks, yeah, because it all comes down. Oh, Amanda says, I have done this workshop before. Amanda, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. I don't know what day it is, honestly. Let me just see. Yeah, permission to play, permission to stop, permission to just get back to what is it that you want as well. Because you're important, aren't you? You're important. So I love to use this 2 weeks as this is about me now. Okay, so this is about me just showing up for myself for a couple of weeks and resetting and connecting again with my creativity as a whole for me. And this is what Lottie says. Yeah, once you learn the framework, you can apply it to any artwork. So don't worry about the artwork that you pick. Yes, we have this every year. I think this is probably the hardest part for some in the workshop is picking one artwork because they feel like they're having to choose a favorite child and it's not about that. Just choose one. Choose one. Kim, pretty sure about what artwork you're going to use. Brilliant. David's going to choose one from 25 years ago that I found recently. That's a really great idea. Sometimes you can learn so much from an older artwork. I've been digging out my old artworks recently, and I've been going back to them and kind of seeing them in a completely different way and realizing so much more about myself. Now I see this artwork especially. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much more I can see in that now that I didn't see at the time, if that makes sense. And I have a bigger appreciation for it as well. I was so critical after that piece, and now I see so much more beauty in it. Anyway, so it is tricky. Carrie says, I'm excited. I've got a large, expensive piece. I'm challenging myself to sell. Yeah. So this is a great example. You might have an artwork that you think, I really want to sell this artwork. Bring it into the 7 keys. Let's dig into it. Let's figure out why you made it. What is it? What's the purpose? What's it doing? Who's it for? And then you can go on a mission to sell it. And wouldn't it be amazing, Kathy, if you sold it throughout the 2 weeks? So Steph's asking, should we pick an artwork that we feel we resonate with the most, that we have a strong connection with? Yes, yes. I mean, that's the way I would approach it personally. But like we've just seen, David's going to choose one from 25 years ago. It might be just out of curiosity because he wants to go through the 7 keys now and just delve into this artwork and see what pops up. But what we're going to do is take this artwork on a journey and learn more about it, who it could be for. You know, we're really going to drill deep into this. It's going to open up so many light bulb moments and ahas. And so that's why I would recommend doing something that you resonate with, because it's going to be easier. Because if you start to dig into this and you think, and you start to see the steps that you could take and how you could make more of this work and grow it into something, then that would be incredible. Oh, yeah. So Jay's going to pick from my latest artworks. Brilliant. Amanda's got no idea yet. That's okay. Oh, Fiona. Hello, Fiona. Click the link today. You're new here. Brilliant. Nice to have you here. I have some idea of the artwork I might pick, but mainly overwhelmed by choice. So this is one of the big reasons why I want you to choose one. Because here's the thing. If you're feeling overwhelmed at this stage by the choice of your artwork, this is a really big indication of the difficulties around putting it out into the world and finding who it's for and things like that. This is why I get you to do this as well, because quite often there's people like, you've got so much work and you can't figure out who's your audience. I don't know. And so this is why stripping this back, as hard as it's going to be, Fiona, is going to be really, really enlightening for you. And you'll learn so much from choosing this one artwork. I promise you. So give it a go. If you've got lots and lots of pieces, maybe just put them into some kind of categories. It could be color, it could be subject matter. Try and group them so that you're not looking at everything in one go. And then just look at a little group. Try and whittle it down if you can, possibly, to putting your artwork into categories. And then you just take that one category, and the aim then is to kind of reduce it down to 3. It's like process of elimination. And then you choose one out of that. Does that make sense? If that helps reduce the overwhelm of deciding. Kirsty says, yeah, I'm trying to decide between 2, but I don't have them with me at the moment. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. If you can kind of recall and have a picture of them maybe, or you know exactly what they are, then yeah, that's okay. Yeah, Maria, absolutely. You can do this intuitively. Don't overthink it. Just choose one. Just say, you can do this if you're a more spiritual person. Just like, look, go, I've got to choose one of you for the one of you for this workshop. Open your eyes, speak to me, pick it. I remember doing this when I went to a Wild Women event, and they had these cards, like these cards face down in a massive circle. I mean, I don't know how many cards there were just like loads of them. And they said, you've got to go and choose one. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do I choose one out of all of these? And I just took a deep breath and I just went over and like, there was a card. I thought, I've got to have that one. It was really weird. And I went and I was like trying to push people out of the way. So I was like, I have to have that card. So you can, yeah, do it in a similar way. Eunice is new here too. Hi, Eunice. Good to have you here. Sapna is your Sapna, how are you? Oh my gosh, so good to see you here. It's your second time choosing my tree canopy lampshades. I'm trying to develop early stages. Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Ciao from Italy. Oh, good to see you. Oh, so this is one. I'm new and I'm worried my artwork is not good enough. I'm so glad you've written this, because there'll be people here feeling the same. So when we do these workshops together, like in the chat now, you're going to see so many people. And if you go into the Facebook group, you're going to see so many people with amazing artwork, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, they're so much better than me. Not all of you will feel that way, but it's going to happen. And I think it happens to most of us at some points when we're feeling a bit vulnerable and we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. It happens to me still now. It will happen to all of us, I think, at some point, but more prevalent for people that are new here. You've never come across us before. Here's the thing, Fiona, you don't have to share your artwork with us, but I encourage you to do so in the Facebook group if you feel comfortable. We have a non-judgment policy here. So if you share your work in the Facebook group, we're not here to judge. We're here to help you grow more confidence in what you do, learn the steps of, we've had people take part in this who are new, who want to develop their art, and they actually learn from this process of what they want their art to be. So then you learn the next steps of, how do I make that kind of art? How do I make it flatter? Or how do I make it more loose? Or how do I, you can learn that through this framework. But the other thing is around the worry of being good enough. The one biggest thing that I think people say they get from this is confidence. Because what we're going to do is help you see the good in your artwork, because there is good in all work that we do. Whether you judge it as being rubbish or not, there is something in it, and we will show you how to find that in the artwork, Fiona. So don't feel you have to share it. You can keep the work private and go through the steps. But it would be lovely if by the end of the 2 weeks, you feel confident enough to share that artwork, tell us about it. And that's what I'm hoping that I can get you to, Fiona, by the end of the 2 weeks. So we're not going to judge you, because we've been doing this for 7 years now. We've literally had tens of thousands of people go through our workshops in the last 7 years. You know, it's got to be well over 60,000. I mean, I've lost count. I don't know. Because we've been doing it for so long. We've seen every single type of artwork, every type of fear. There's nothing that could shock us. And we've seen people go from, you know, real type of artwork in the beginning stages where someone doesn't really understand their voice and they don't know what they're doing. They're just being playful and it's lovely. And there's so much personality in the work, but they can't see it because they're critiquing themselves on technique and it should look realistic, but there's so much personality in it. And we pull that part out and go, but look at this. But then that same artist, I'm recalling someone in particular called Chris. The artwork was of a cat. It was really flat. And she didn't like it because she wanted it to look realistic. We saw so much character in that cat, you know, so much personality. But then she got really focused on, I want to learn how to render. I want to learn how to blend my colors so that it looks like there's some depth. And I want to really hone in on the fur, because when she painted the cat, it was flat. She just got a brush and just painted the cat brown. She wanted to go in and do detail and be intricate and create every single piece of fur. And that's what she got from this. She was like, this is what I want to do. And in 12 months, I mean, I have to dig the photos out. Her work was unrecognizable. It was unbelievable. Now, for some people, it's the opposite. Some people can render and can do something so perfectly as they can see it, but they want to go the opposite way. They want to go more abstract and loose. And so we're all here learning who we are, what we want to create, with no judgment, because at the end of the day, it's not about how good you are. It's about the desire you have to do something and get it out into the world. That's what matters. Because opinions on whether it's good enough are irrelevant. It depends on what you want to say. So sorry, I literally could bang on about this topic for hours, so I need to move on. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to wrap up soon because I want to keep this one short for people who are pushed for time, that just want to get a quick overview of what the workshops are. And then we're going to delve in tomorrow. And I'm so excited to get started with you all. Natalie's here for a second time. Lovely to see you. Yeah, don't compare yourself. Your work is your work and it's from you. I compare myself far too much, even though I know I shouldn't. It's hard in today's world because we're just so inundated with other people's art everywhere and work. And so, and like what Mick says, yeah, I feel the same. I feel like no amount of social media makes a difference at this point. So going back to this is going to be helpful, because when you feel like you're just churning on social media and it's becoming a drain, it's time to go back to this framework and reconnect again and actually build relationships with people, instead of just churning out stuff on social media that you think isn't getting anywhere. yeah, I hear you on that, Mick. Oh, Dodo's with us. Dodo's even got a book out now as well. It gave me so many insights. Now looking forward to more. Fantastic. Um, oh, Amanda, this is the best membership I've ever found, and I've wasted thousands of pounds. There's so much value in her advice. I can even apply it to my main business. It's fantastic. I've learned so much, and my life is far better since finding the hub. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you, Amanda. Um, it's so good to be back live with you all. I've missed going live. Oh. Oh, I love it. So the last free workshop, I did a few flea markets and got some sales. And this workshop, I'm launching my website simultaneously. Brilliant. Oh, we've got someone else from Croatia. So we've got a Croatian group as well. I went to Croatia last year to meet our members. Ah, yeah. So Steph's got here. I struggle to monetize my art and not feel like it's turning into a commodity. Back to this, Steph. This is what lights up the passion inside of you again, so it doesn't feel like it's just a commodity. Because when it starts to feel like that for me, I go back to this, and this is what gives you that fuel, the light again to go. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And sometimes when you're feeling that way, it might be time to evolve into something new, or it might just be that you've got to get connected with why you're doing this again, because it's focusing on down here. No, sorry, even further down. I need to move my screen, don't I, down there? Look here. And we've got to get back up here where the excitement and joy is. Okay. Oh, it's so good to see you all here. Okay, Alexa's asking, are we doing the workshops on Facebook? Yeah, so you don't need to bring anything, just pen and paper or something to take notes, digital, whatever. You need to take some notes, I would recommend, but you can listen to the replay if you want to go back and take notes. If you want to watch the replay, you can usually listen to that on double speed as well. If you're really time poor, you can not watch it live. There's many benefits of just listening back on double speed. And then you get step-by-step instructions. So the only thing really to start to do now is to kind of reset, pause, clear your mind, come with an open mind and choose that one artwork. That's it. That's the prep. Easy. And yes, it's on Facebook and YouTube. And then we also put the replay onto our event site. And then that's where you can listen back on double speed. But I think you can listen back on double speed on YouTube as well nowadays. On most of them you can, can't you? So oh, there's so many comments. I'm going to come back to the comments. And Nick is with us. I've signed up again, had a break, still not got my art on social media. Glad to be back. It's good to have you, Nikki. It's good to have you. Oh, Kim says, yeah, true RE confidence. I think I've learned to say with pride and ask what I do and say proudly, I am an artist. Yes. Okay, lovelies. I'm going to come back to the chat and go back to the comments. I'm going to wrap up now and see you tomorrow. I'm excited. I can't wait to spend the next 2 weeks with you all. It's good to be back. Thank you so much for signing up and being here, because it is you that makes this event so amazing, because it's when we all come together, there is a real amazing energy from people taking part in this and being here and supporting each other. And it makes you want to do this even more when we do it together. It makes me want to do it. And it makes you want to kind of be a bit braver, be a bit more courageous, because we're all here doing this together. And it's like a domino effect. When you start to see the confidence rising in others, it rises in you. Confidence breeds confidence, success breeds success. So when we're here doing this together, it honestly, it bounces off each other. We've seen it happen time and time again. So I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're showing up. Get in the Facebook group if you're in Facebook. And I'll see you tomorrow with your pen and paper. See you, my friends. Bye-bye.